Hello, welcome to New Gameplay Today. I'm one of your hosts, Wesley LeBlanc. We are joined by Marcus Stewart. How you doing?
Hey, I'm here to experience the Final Fantasy of the seventh time, but again, for the seventh time remake.
Of course.
Yeah, this is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited. You got to play this, right?
I did. I went to Square Enix's office in Los Angeles last week and got to play two different sections of the game. We're going to be looking at some B-roll that they've provided of those sections. So this is not my gameplay, but I did play everything that we're about to see. This is going to be edited, and for those that are going to ask later, when cutscenes are happening, just because of Square's embargo, we do have to talk and commentate through everything, so we can't shut up during a cutscene. So, but just a heads up. Hey, there's subtitles that'll help with that.
Yeah, and I mean, this is Final Fantasy VII game. Came out in, I don't remember when it came out. It was like 20 years. Just go play that. You know. Nothing's different.
Remember 1997? It was a pretty good year, probably.
I hope so. Yeah, I was 2 years old. Good time.
Thank you for making me feel old. I was about 10 at the time. Yeah, you know what isn't old is this game. It's coming out next February. It's really fun, believe it or not. In terms of the combat, as you're seeing here, it's largely identical to what Remake did, sort of the fusion of stylus action with the turn-based mechanics. Of course, a big difference with this particular section, which this first section is the flashback mission to Mount Nibelheim, or Mount Nibel, however you pronounce it, with Cloud, Sephiroth, Tifa there you saw in the background trying to reach the summit. Won't spoil where that goes, but if you know, you know. But, you know, this section lets you play as Sephiroth, which is really fun because it turns out that he's, like, really overpowered. It's almost like he's a legendary war hero.
What?
Yeah, and he's a blast. I switched to him quite a bit while I was playing there. He's got... he's got some really sick combos, and plus the reach of his sword, and just getting to do his like Octaslash limit break, as well as one of the, well, not even one of, I think it's kind of the big new wrinkle with Rebirth are the new synergy attacks that I just did right there with Cloud, where now you can do these sort of tag team moves with your party members. So Cloud and Sephiroth have a few that we're going to see in this demo, but in the second demo where I have kind of the full traditional party, you'll see that whatever your configuration of party members is, they all have like a tag team move that they can do with each other, almost like Chrono Trigger style, and it sort of encourages you to change up your party alignment. Like, hey, maybe I'll throw in Red 13 for a little bit because I want to see what him and Aerith can do, or Barret and Tifa. You spend an ATB gauge to use it, but they're really cool just for how flashy and over the top they are. They can also be used strategically. Like Aerith has a sort of like defense-focused synergy move called Bodyguard, where she sends like Cloud in front of her to sort of like block some attack while she sort of does her thing in the background. But they're really cool. Like, there's so many offensive options you have in this game between that and the like standard attacks and your limit breaks and your like triangle abilities. Like, you can deal out a lot of pain in this game.
So something I wanted to touch on, because we kind of just went through it, like what's going on with this climbing and stuff? Is Cloud a Nathan Drake now, or is this just kind of like some simple push up and you're there?
It's like a push up and you're there. Like Square called this stuff parkouring, which I guess is like maybe the minimum definition of what I would call parkour, of like just climbing around. But I mean, in this Mount Nibel section, there's like some, like you saw there, like the handholds with like climbing and like sidling and stuff. Like there's just a little bit more traversal, but it's nothing like, you're not going to be doing platforming or like aiming to be like, oh, I hope I make this jump. It's just like, nah, you just walk up to it and hold forward on the stick and he'll climb over something. So it's just like slightly more dynamic, but at least in this slice, who knows if it maybe gets more elaborate in other sections in the game, but it wasn't anything. Yeah, exactly.
So how does the combat feel? Like, does it still feel like a direct continuation of Remake, or have they like kind of overhauled any of the movement and combat?
No, it's pretty much remakes combat, and I guess by an extension like intermission, like, you know, the synergy attacks that I mentioned before are kind of the big new addition. For the returning characters like Tifa, Bear, and so what, they got like some new wrinkles to their existing attacks, whereas like Aerith's Tempest attack has an ability where if you hold down the button to charge it up, she'll like summon a familiar that can fight with her, which she couldn't do in the first game. So they kind of did that of like, oh, they like Tifa's unbridled rage or fury or whatever it was called can do like a different thing now than it did in the first game.
Okay, cool.
Get back.
Yeah, get back.
I keep just wanting to watch this cutscene. This game is so pretty.
Yeah, he's like, hey, hold up, let this cutscene cook.
Be a hero.
So you said Sephiroth is like a very OP. Can you should switch freely between the two?
Someone should tell
Yeah, kind of like in the first game, like if you just hit the D-pad, you'll swap between your character, like taking control of your party members. So, you know, I'm doing that quite a bit with Sephiroth. This Materia Hunter fight I thought was pretty fun. It's sort of like the final, maybe the final boss, but at least the final boss of this section of the demo. You're kind of pretty much just unleashing hell on this thing. You can target different limbs to sort of weaken them at one point in the fight. That will see bit there, and like I said, you're doing the thing they did in a remake of building up to staggering them and pressuring them so that they can get stunned, and then you go in there and sort of do your thing without restriction. It's still fun. Like I said, it is remake, but it's just like, hey, I enjoyed remakes combat, and that might have been my favorite part of the game. Like I love the story stuff, but I just thought it was such a smart fusion of like action and turn-based stuff.
Is it so? You played Final Fantasy 16?
I'm still playing it. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah.
Is it? What does it feel like playing this? Which 16 is just full-on action non-stop, and now this is kind of like that middle ground between turn-based and action. Do you still feel like this is? For me, like remakes combat's still top. I don't know. Actually, I like them both, but I'm curious like how it feels to go back to this.
Yeah, it was an adjustment during my demo because since I'm still very much like knee deep in 16, it's like my muscle memory from that game is sort of like to the forefront of my brain. Plus, it's been a few years since I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, so there was an adjustment of like, oh yeah, that's right. This is how you select commands. This is how you go into tactical mode and whatnot. But after like a few fights, I kind of found my groove again, and I don't know if I want to say if it's better or worse than 16. It's just different, you know.
Yeah. Sure.
Like I think both styles of combat are super fun. It's just that one is going for a different thing than the other one.
Such a puppy.
Called him a puppy.
Love that.
Yeah. Except
This is just oozing this. I mean, 16 had some massive cutscenes and it was beautiful and all this, but like Rebirth might as well be on a whole nother level. This is wild.
Like the looks of this.
yeah, it was weird when I was playing the game. Like dollar bills, like $100 bills, were like coming out of the monitor because it just had so much money put into it, which is good because I was staying in expensive downtown LA, so it actually helped me get an Uber home. But yeah, like the game is gorgeous. Like the first game was too. You can play in a performance mode or a quality mode. I want to say this is performance mode that we're looking at. I don't know what they did with what they went with for B-roll. I played my two demos in both just to see, and performance mode is 60 FPS, lower resolution. Performance is 4K. I think I did this with Remake too, where I think I probably would just go quality mode.
Yeah, that's what I did, and then I got the platinum in it, so you have to do a new game plus run, and I did that in performance. I got to see it as pretty as possible first time.
Yeah, like I don't think the game looks good at 60, but I don't think it's like. It's weird to say, like, I don't think it looks like awful and whatever. I don't even know if it's 30 and 60. It didn't say in the description. It just said, hey, it's 4K. So maybe it's like
probably less. Yeah, it could be like 40 or something.
So now we're looking at the second part of the section, which is sort of the open world area that's outside of the city of Junon. You can see that little baby chocobo there trying to get our attention. You'll see them running around here, and you're gonna wanna give them your time because they'll lead you to these chocobo stops, where if you pick them up, they'll become fast travel points. And you'll also get a golden plume for your troubles, which you can use to trade in at these ranches to get new gear to decorate your chocobos. And of course,
you can customize your chocobo.
Yeah, watch this. give her a little pet.
Oh yeah, that one Twitter account's gonna be very happy.
Yeah, or confused. But like, can we?
Dog.
Is a chocobo a cat? Do we?
Dog, chicken, something like that.
Yeah. Do we need a pet the bird Twitter account? Here's the customization stuff. So, got
This
some.
is just purely cosmetic. It looks like.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, hey, do you want your chocobo to look cool? Like mine had like a little newspaper boy hat looking thing. Made him look real. Made him look really
chocobo.
cool. Exactly. He's passing out newspapers on the street corner. And here's like the broader sort of like customization menu. So you like bought it from that lady, and then here you can kind of see all the stuff that you got.
Oh my god, the name Choco Boutique is
Like
amazing.
you got the scorpion armor from like the first game you can put on it, which is cool. Look how menacing that chocobo looks.
I love this. This is what I want. Just give me more games where I can customize my rideable part.
Yeah.
Yes.
And here we're looking at.
Yeah, I was about to ask who's Mai or May.
I don't know. It's a new character, if you want to call her that. But yeah, in this open world section, there were these designated areas called like world intel missions, and they're kind of like basically like hunts where Mai is like, hey, I need data on this specific enemy. Can you go kill it, please? And then as you're fighting it, she'll just spout these facts about it. But like, hey, this is where it lives, and these things use lightning. It's pretty neat, huh? Anyway, can you like slaughter that thing for me?
Now that you've plunged your sword into its neck, I can tell you it has electricity.
Yeah, that's a weird take for like National Geographic to document it and then say like, tear that thing apart, please.
It's a tough world to live in.
So you could just beat the enemies and be good. You'll get some rewards, but as you can see there, that you have optional objectives to be like, hey, if you can beat this within a time limit, or stagger it, or pressure it, you'll get some bonus stuff, which is basically like items as well as materials, because you can craft things now in Rebirth. If you go into the main menu, there's a tab called like item transmutation or item transmute, but it lets you craft like potions and phoenix downs and other items out of all the like herbs and materials that you'll either get from enemies, or you'll also find them just laying around the open world. Just you just go up and collect them. What's nice is that you can pick up stuff while on your chocobo, which seems like obvious, but I'm always surprised when there's games with mounts that don't let you do that. And speaking of mounts, look at Red 13 there. Look at him.
I love that so much.
Looks
That
so
is bizarre
dumb.
and weird, and it's perfect.
I feel like his
How is... Oh, go ahead.
I feel like his tail could light his chocobo on fire. It's kind of like dangerously close to the chocobo tail, but
Instead of using what are those things on the back of cowboy boots? Instead of
like
using
spurs.
Instead of spurs, he just lightly taps the chocobo's butt with fire.
just branding it constantly.
Oh, they swim. They
Yeah.
fly and swim.
That's what's nice is that this area, it's got some, we're by the beach, so there's some islands you can swim to if you want to find some like materials or some treasure chests there. Keep everyone nice and dry.
You told me offhand already about this question you asked in relation to Red 13's tail. Go ahead and share that with the audience, because I think it's important.
Yeah, I would like to know, Final Fantasy VII fans, because I don't know the answer to this, and I asked the Square PR person, they didn't know either. If Red 13's tail gets extinguished, will he die? Is it like a Charmander situation? Like, what happens if you put his tail out? Let us know.
Let us know in the comments below, yeah. Who is this mysterious person? I don't know, because they have question marks for it. Who could it be?
So this is skipping ahead to, we've already entered the under Junon, which is it's the fishing village that's like nearby Junon proper. There's like a whole scene that plays before this that, again, we had to edit. But you see our old pal Yuffie here in a bit of trouble as this sea monster that it's here to give the business, but thankfully there's a dolphin that's
Very
here.
shiny dolphin.
And hold on tight.
I like that Priscilla knew what to do, or I'm like, do you guys know this dolphin, or are you just kind of like on the fly, like, I don't know, grab it?
I mean, that's what I do. We both live in Florida. That's what we do at the beaches. If we see a shark, you grab the nearest dolphin and you hold on tight.
Yeah, we have a dolphin protection force that patrols the beaches here in Florida. It's really helpful. I'm glad that they, it's kind of the opposite of the whole orca uprising that's been going around. The dolphins are still cool with us, it seems.
For now, yeah. So is this? I can't remember in the original game. Is this where you meet Yuffie as Cloud and party, or is this just like it just seems that way?
It seemed that way because she feels like she would have been with the group at this point. Again, I haven't played Final Fantasy VII like the original all the way through in probably 15 years minimum. So my memory of stuff that happens later is a little fuzzy. But I would have my assumption is that maybe this is where you would meet her for the first time, just because they weren't like, "Hey, Yuffie!" They're just like, "Oh, that girl's in trouble." I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're fighting the Terror of the Deep, which is quite a name for this creature, but I guess it's appropriate. We're getting to see some of the other abilities, like namely Red 13, because he's playable for the first time. Getting to see.
I was just about to ask, what's he like to play as? Is it strange controlling a cat dog person thing?
Yeah, no, he feels fine. Like, he's very fast. He's got his kind of quick claw attacks. He can hold a button down to charge his attacks, where he does like this whirl, kind of like this spinning whirl thing. He's got a move called, I believe, Vengeance, where like if he blocks enough attacks, you can do a thing where you go into Vengeance mode, and it basically powers him up for a period where his attacks do more damage and he can dodge faster. And you can see here in this fight, the Terror of the Deep can trap your allies in these water cells, and you have to beat them up to break them out. So you kind of have to strategically pick your spots of okay, I need to not focus on the boss so I can free my buddy. Or you can always command someone else in your party to do it for you, because you can still you don't have to manually control every character. You can just command them to do stuff. So we can see doing some cures there because Barrett's not looking too good.
So I see Aerith, but she's not in the party. Is this like a situation with Remake where you'd have to change it outside of the battle, or how does that work?
Yeah, so what's nice is that at least outside of battle, you can create multiple party configurations, and you can switch between them on the fly. So you can have a team of Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, and then Cloud, Barrett, Red 13, and then just hitting the D-pad while you're walking around, you'll just switch between them. So you don't have to go into the menu to be like, oh, I want this combination. Again, kind of playing into the synergy attacks of hey, we'll make it easy for you to change between loadouts because we want you to kind of mix up your combinations. In battles, you'll always see everyone in the fight, but only the people that are actively in the party are participating. I'm not sure if Tifa and Aerith in this instance, if they actually help out at all, or if they're just there because
just looks like they're fighting.
Yeah, continuity's sake of yeah, of course they'd be helping out, but are they actually helping out? I'm still not sure. But I mean, I like that touch because in RPGs, that's just what would happen, right? You're oh yeah, everyone's chipping in, because why wouldn't they be? And look at that. The day is saved.
I cannot wait. It's so exciting. This is probably one of the most, you actually played Spider-Man last week, so you played Spider-Man and this game. Probably the most jealous I've been of someone else's trip. What a lineup.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that Rebirth is really shaping up, and it comes out so soon, which is wild.
Yeah, February 29th, PlayStation 5 exclusive. I had fun with it. I've written up a more in-depth preview, sort of breaking down my time with these demos that you can read on GameInformer.com. And I've also published an interview that I did with the principal designers, the creative director Tetsuya Nomura and the director Hamaguchi, sort of answering some burning questions that have kind of blown up since they went live last night. So be sure to check out that if you want some answers to hey, why is it 2-disc? And can we play as Vincent? The short answer to that second one is no. But he's there. He'll join the group just as an AI companion, the same way Red 13 was in the first game. But yeah, check out those two features over on GameInformer.com. And yeah, like I said, this game comes out just a handful of months. So I'm excited. I had fun with these two demos.
Can't wait. Thanks for joining us today, Marcus.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bye.